Hi everyone, art journal page, and I'm starting in this journal that is made from heavy duty paper, 240 grams, and I've made it back to back. I've showed you lots of times how to do it, so no stitching needed. And I'm going to start my page with some book pages. Took these pages out of a dictionary. I'm only going to work on this side, not a double page, just this side. And I'm going to start tearing pieces that I like and gluing them. I'm using plain white glue. Like so. It's very thick. Okay, so just laying down some piece here, and I'm going over. Someone asked me why am I putting glue on top. First of all, it acts like a sealant, and second, if it's how paper react to things that are that have water moist in them. Lots of times when you do only one side, then you have another reaction if you don't do the other side. Even if you use something thick like a chipboard, if you only put glue on one side, then it will buckle. So it's just something that you do, and if you miss a spot underneath, then you will have an air bubble, just so you will know. I've picked these pages just because I thought I have interesting elements on them, not only just text. So that's it, but you can pick whatever you want. It even doesn't have to be book pages. But I've got a dictionary that I took the hardcover and made it into a box that looks like an ancient book. So I have left all the inside because I got it the dictionary. So now I'm always using the pages for all kinds of projects. Let's see. It's quite random, just putting in several places that I think will work. Some of it is gonna get completely covered, some of it is going to peek through. And just go with the flow. Let's see. Yeah, let's go like this. Okay, now you can cover completely your page. You can decide that you just want several places with the book pages. Really up to you. There is no formula. There is no laws about how you do it. I have one law: have fun. That's the most important thing. Have fun with it. It's just book pages. Okay, I think I'll just put one more piece here and I'm done with this. with the start. Okay. So I like what is going on here, and now I want to blend the edges into the white background, and I have gesso for it. Now I still got lots of wet glue, but I don't care. I'm just going to go and start putting down some gesso where my edges are, and I'm just going to use my finger. You can use a sponge, you can use a brush, whatever you like. I'm just going over the edges like this, and I'm smearing the gesso. You can also decide that you don't like some part of what you glued down, and I repeat, it doesn't have to be book pages. You can decide on something else. You can use your scrapbook paper, all kinds that you didn't think to use. Anything that will give interest in the back, because there is going to be other layers on top. Now, if you are concerned about the details showing through too much, then you can dilute the gesso with water and go over, so pushing it back into the background. Up to you. Okay. Again, no lows. Just where you think it's needed, what you think you want to cover, what you want to blend into the white background. That's it. I just want to make the edges blend more into the background. That's it. Okay, let's see, maybe a little bit here and here, just making the edges a little bit more blended. That's it. Let's see. Okay, that's it. I think this is the start of my background, and I'm going to let this dry completely before I continue. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back now. Before I forget, I forgot to mention that if you do it like me and you don't wait for the glue to dry and put the gesso on, then you will get a crackle effect, which some like, some don't. I got a crackle effect. I don't know how much of it you can see. I'll bring it a little bit closer. Maybe you will see, and maybe when I will put more I'll put paint on top, then you will see it more. Now, lots of ways to go about it. The only thing that I really care about is to put paint, but that it will be translucent, so the details will show through. And all kinds of ways to go about it. I can go with watercolors, I can go with all kinds of sprays. I've got sprays that I make from gel food coloring with water. You can do it with a textile dye, the powder, with water. You can do it with brochures. You can use, if you have distress inks, you can do it with distress inks. The only thing is to just activate it with water. I took a piece of plastic, and what I want to do on my page is put some stains of color random stains. And I can also, if I want to be more precise, I can use the watercolors. Basically what I want is to have some blue on this side, and then I will add some, I don't know, I think maybe I will go with some orange and yellows on this side. Not sure yet, I'm just playing. So you can also use acrylics. You will just have to dilute them a lot to get this effect. So just playing with whatever you have. Here we go. Using the spray. I can do it like this. I can just open it and use it with a brush. Whatever works for you. That's the important thing. So I just want to have several shades of blue. Okay, seems nice. It's still a mess. It will always be a mess at first. And even if you don't like something, there is always another layer. There is always gesso. There is always a way to put something else and be satisfied with the result. Okay, so let's go with this orange. I just need to clean my brush enough so I won't get mud. Okay. Not so sure about this color. Maybe if I will add a little bit red. Now I'm just playing with the shades. Oh, the yellow is looking fine. Maybe I'll just pick the yellow like this and smoosh it on my page with a little bit of the orange and a little bit of the red, and whatever will be, like so. Yeah, and I'm working on it as it's still wet, and I am planning of a little bit of mixing on the center. Even though it can create mud, I don't care. I want some mixing, some blending into each other. Right now I am more into putting down the colors on each side, and then I can even take just a water spray bottle and spray and let them mix. We'll see. Okay, so I'm really liking this yellow. Okay, let's see. I'm taking a spray bottle with water and let's hope for the best. Now my page is not watercolor paper, so there is some reaction to all this water, so I will get some puddles like this. I can leave it be, I can decide to observe it if I don't like it, and again, I can add where I want. I can subtract some if I don't like it. If it's too much, I can take either a baby wipe or some tissue paper and just absorb the puddle that I don't like. It's really up to you. And now I'm thinking that I will take from the yellow and do something like this, yeah, while it's still wet. Yeah, that's how I'm going to do it. And now I'm going to take this and do the same here. Just adding if I think it's not strong enough. I like how it, when it's wet on wet, it disperses and there is no control over it. That's what I like, in not every time, but for this page I like it. Okay. Let's see. I think I'm going to let this dry completely and then see if I need to enhance something, add something, whatever, or if I can go and do and just continue. I'm not sure about this corner, it's too much. Maybe I will just take more gesso and go over it. Right now I'm just going to let all of this just dry completely. I'll be back. Okay, so this is completely dry and I've picked this stencil to add some detailing to my background. It's still not my focal point, just a background, and I've picked this stencil just because I have several elements on it and I don't need to change like 4 stencils. And I'm just going to mask what I am not interested in just with a masking tape. I don't care for this right now, so I'm just going to cover it. And I don't want this part, not that it's that's that critical, but I don't know, just doesn't go with what I want on my page. So I'm placing it here and I'm going with dark blue and I'm using a makeup sponge. Let's see. Okay, so I want to stencil, but I want it to be light, and I am not looking for a perfect print. I'm dabbing quite lightly. Like so. Now it would be less visible on the blue that I have here, but that's okay with me, that it will almost like disappear into this part. And I can always change color if I don't like it, and I can do all kinds of stuff to make it more visible if I want to, like contour line. Right now I'm just dabbing away. Like so. I think I will, I want to use this part also. Some I tap a little bit more, some less. It's just more detailing in the back, so you can play with it. and you can always start with less paint and light dabbing, and if you want to add more you can always add. You just can't subtract. Okay, almost done. Yay! It turned out better than I thought. I surprised myself. Okay, so I just want to add, as I said, a little bit more definition in several parts. I think I'm going to use some gold. I've got this this is a Uniball Signal gold marker, and I just think that I will add some lines in some places. I know that you can hardly see it. Sadly, metallics don't show well on video, but it's here, and I just want to add some detailing in several places. I really going about it quite loosely and quite randomly. What can I say? Well, I could also add, if I wanted something random and to add some glimmer, I could also do a gold splattering. Right now I decided to just go with this. As you can see, I really went gentle with the stenciling. Some of the numbers are not complete. Mostly a hint of something in the back. Let's see. Just working on some details, nothing more. Yeah, maybe a little bit here. Yeah, I like it. Okay, so this is a little bit wet. I'm going to wait a minute or two, and then I'll come back. Okay, so for the focal point, if you can call it a focal point, I like branches with leaves, and I wanted to try something. I wanted it in white, and I've got a lot of texture here, so I was concerned that trying to use something like this markers won't go great for me. And you can also use acrylic paint in a bottle like this, but I wanted to try something else. I took a white tissue paper and I just drew on it with the white markers. Again, I've used this Signal, the Uniball Signal white marker, and I want to try and just take some of it and start gluing it to my page. Now, mostly it will depends on the tissue paper, it will disappear into the background, not as much as if you are using a paper napkin, but I can't draw on a paper napkin. Maybe if that's another experiment that I want to try, to go over a paper napkin with glue, let it dry so it becomes stiff for that, if I can call it that, and then try to draw on it. I need to find time and do that experiment. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a fine brush with some water, and I'm going to take out the part that I want. Almost the same as when you're using paper napkins. Now I'm not using scissors because I want a torn edge, and when you have torn edges it helps whatever you're gluing to disappear into the background. When you have straight edges from the scissors, it's more prominent on the page. So gently I'm just taking this image, and we'll see if it works. If not, then I will resort to other means. Okay, so I've got one and I'm planning on more, and this is just basic stem with some leaves. I am hoping to add more details to the back later on when it's dry. Let's see now. So I'm taking a brush and I'm taking white glue that I've added water. It's 2/3 white glue and 1/3 water. That's what I usually use when I'm working with paper napkins, and I prefer to use it also on the tissue paper. So let's see. Just making sure I have lots of it so I won't have air bubbles. And now I'm going on top, and the same as you work with paper napkins, from the inside towards the outside. Okay, so it looks promising. Of course I need for this to dry to see how it really looks, and I want more stems. I don't know if 2 more or 1 more. I'm just going to take them out of the tissue paper, play with the placement, and I'll be back. I'm back, and what can I tell you? I'm not happy. In terms of the tissue paper blending into the background, great. In terms of seeing my focal point, not great at all. It just disappears. Too much going on here. And I've taken white marker, and I thought that if I will go over the lines and add more detailing to my leaves, then it would be more visible, but it's not. So I'm now trying to think what to do about it, because I really want white on top of all I've done. So I think I'm going to take some white paper and just do this kind of branches, and I will glue it on top, I think. So I've got the template that I've used before to do the branches, and now I need white paper. Sometimes you think of something and it just doesn't work. What can you do? Now, of course, this can be also the not work for me, and maybe I'll just do it by hand. Let's see. I'm taking, this is a permanent black marker, and let's see. As you can see, I'm just making it as I go. And of course I will have to fussy cut this. Oh, the joy of fussy cutting. So what I have here with the white will just stay in the background, and I hope that once I will put this on my page, then it would be good. If not, then I will have to find another solution, or just leave it be, and that's it. Not great, but it's coming. What's the expression? Flying by the seat of my pants, I think. Okay, I'm going to fussy cut it, and I'm going to see how it works on the page, and I'll be back. Okay, so here it is. What a struggle towards the end. I made these two, glued them to the page, and I'm leaving it be. And I just wanted to add some words, and I'm just gluing it here. Try new things, and that completes my page. I really like what's going on in the back. The focal point was a struggle, but I can live with this. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for leaving me comments down below, and I'll be seeing you in my next video. Bye for now.